live are here, Shane Filan and Nicky Byrne. It is fantastic to see you both, because this is like a sign that normality is returning, Nicky, and we're going to be allowed to go out, go to a big gig, and enjoy that live music again. We thought that might not happen.
Who would have thought it? Let's be honest. I mean, we are buzzing, but who would have thought? I mean, honestly, a couple of weeks ago, even maybe a month ago, I genuinely, people were stopping me in the street going, "Will Wembley happen? Will your gigs in Cork happen?" And my heart was saying no, but I didn't want to say that because they weren't officially cancelled or postponed. So I was, who knows? And then obviously, as quick as we went into this pandemic, it seems like we're going to get out of it. Fingers crossed. Equally, quickly now, the light seems to be at the end of the tunnel, and all of a sudden, that we were approached to do a second Wembley Stadium, and to do one is one of the career ever, and now to do two, and I think it's more than just a concert. I think it's a green light for people to party again, for people to get out, have a drink, have a party, and just enjoy their night, and we're just honoured to be facilitating that.
Absolutely fantastic. So these Wembley gigs will be in August, 21st of August. Again, that's that sign that there is some normality on the horizon, Shane. But in the last year, what have you done to keep yourself busy? I know Nicky was training his kid to cut his own hair. What about you in your house? How did you keep your mind occupied when you couldn't perform?
Well, my wife was cutting my hair, so she learned how to do that.
Let's see the back of it. I know it's radio, but I can see you. Let me see the back of the head. How did it go?
Yeah, man.
Not bad. You see, he's got that. The pop star quiff. He's got that. He's still rocking that. Still looking good, Shane. So
I've been just flicking that brush for the last year. Trying to perfect it. There's gonna be a lot of hairdressers that are gonna be looking for gigs and stuff now. Westlake are turning into little hairdressers themselves. Rocco's going to be on tour. Gillian's going to be on tour.
But you've been learning instruments as well.
I did actually. I started to learn the guitar last year, and it was something like when you're in the pandemic and everything was happening, you're kind of in lockdown. You're like, what could I do? And Gillian goes, "Why don't you just learn the guitar? Like it's something you've always wanted to do." And I was like, "Oh, that's going to take a lot of effort, And she just try it, So I tried it, and one of my mates is a guitar teacher, Philip, and he started doing it on Zoom. So I started doing it, and it's fun to be able to play guitar now. But I'm rhythm guitar. It's not like I'm going to be doing Guns N' Roses solos or anything like that. But I'm better than I was. Put it that way. But it's cool. It's something that I could say I did during lockdown. Started doing a lot of running as well, and trying to have a treadmill in the house here. And it's
oh, you make me sick. I'm telling you. Do you know what I did? I bleached my hair. I put on a stone. You learned an instrument. And clearly you arranged a huge arena gig, two of them, and you've signed a new record deal as well. Nicky, was it 98? That's the start of Westlife. Since then, you've had 8 number one albums, 14 number one UK singles. You've hold records for having those numbers. When you look back to the very beginning, how do you feel about that now?
You have, just as a matter of interest, you have the stats on the amount of pints we drunk through the years. Is that not there?
No, I don't.
We're on the water now. Look, we're being very good.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think. We got together in '98, and we supported Boyzone around November, December '98, and then we signed a massive record deal with BMG, which became Sony through the years. First single was '99, which was Swear It Again, then followed by If I Let You Go, Flying Without Wings, then the Christmas number one that year, and it just exploded, to be honest with you, beyond our wildest dreams. I mean, it took us the world a million times, everywhere, and that then led into tours and everywhere, from whether it's home here in the country of Ireland, or up north, obviously, all over the UK, Europe, Asia, America, Australia, New Zealand. And then we split in 2012. We went away for pretty much 8 years, and came back for the massive reunion. And I think the reunion in 2019, it was amazing for many reasons. One was to get to do it again. Our kids were older, they experienced it. But one of the biggest things for me, I think Shane will agree with this, was to get a song like Hello My Love. I mean, nostalgia was always going to sell those old songs, but for Ed Sheeran to get on board, for Steve Mac to come back on board, but to get a song like Hello My Love, it made us current again. It put us back on.
Yeah.
And that's what the big thing for me was.
Well, one thing that we do on this show is we ask people to take a trip to Vinny's confessional box, which sounds more daunting than it is. But are you happy to do that, both of you?
Sure.
Okay.
We give it a go.
I have a series of 10 boxes in front of me, and I'd like you to answer a few of the confessional questions within. So, we'll start with you, Shane. If you want to pick a box between 1 and 10, please.
I'll pick number 5.
Number 5 is the most unusual gift you ever received from a fan.
Ooh. We received some dodgy ones, Nicky, hit me over the years.
Go on, one that comes to mind.
Honestly, you know what? I'm going to give this question or this answer, actually, a bit of Mark is going to be in here, because Mark one time received a turnip in a box.
That's very disappointing.
Like big turnip in the box. Well, there was other stuff as well, but I don't know if you can say that online, you know?
No, and no, maybe not. Nicky, would you like to select a box, please? A turnip, that's really disappointing.
Hang on, 1 to 10, is it, yeah?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
I'm going to go number 7, please, Bob.
Number 7 is your first kiss. Do you remember your first kiss? Where it was? Who it was with? That cheeky grin suggests you do.
I think I'm going to remain nameless, but I think it was in the bushes somewhere local in Bal. Yeah, I think that's probably as much as I'm going to give away today.
Okay, we'll do one more. First music gig you went to? Not your own.
Status Quo, yeah.
Wow.
In Sligo, my hometown. It was in the sports complex. It was about 2,500 people, and I just remember the sheer noise of it, and like he must have had 29 guitars lined up on the stage, and he just kept changing the whole way through the gig. It was like his display of guitars, but it was an amazing gig, actually.
Nicky, what about you?
My first gig was the Cranberries in the Point Depot.
Wow.
It was around 1994, and real quickly, funny story. The gig was supposed to be in the summer, and it got cancelled due to Dolores being unwell. And 6 months later, they rescheduled, and it was around Christmas time. And I was about to go to Leeds United, and I had a game. Leeds were coming to Dublin to play against Longford Town, so they landed in Dublin. I had to hook up with the Leeds youth team, drive to Longford, play the match, and then race back to Dublin to get to the Point Depot to see. And many years later, we obviously sang with Dolores, and I had her on my radio show as well, and I asked her about why it was cancelled. And she told me obviously all about the cancellation. And now we know, if you're ill for whatever reason, you cancel, obviously you got to reschedule. So yeah, it's amazing how the world tours. But what a gig that was in the Point Depot. Great band.
Incredible. Shane, Nicky, I've really enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much, and good luck with everything. I really hope it goes well. I hope to be there if I can get a ticket.
Absolutely. 100%, yeah.
Take care, guys. Bye.